Hello, my fieldwork site is Smile Incorporated, managed and ran by Patty Proner since 1992. 30 years ago, it was started by Stephanie. She is wheelchair bound and is still riding in each summer program camp. SMILE stands for Stephanie's Miracles in Loving Equine. SMILE is a nonprofit company and does not use any government funding, so there is no regulations or state regulations that they have to follow here. They do educate their staff on proper techniques in helping children prep their horses to ride, which involves brushing them, putting on their halter, blanket, saddle, bridle, as well as looking out for their personal safety, using a helmet and mounting block that they used to step on to get on the horse. And they actually had an OT, I want to say Dr. Stoddy actually had this connection, and she did her 12-week program out there, and she has started a chart, and I can post a photo of it below as well, but she started a chart. One step is to grab your halter, and then step 2 is to grab your bridle, and in that order. So there's not only the steps there's photos of each item, so in case our campers, students, or anyone were to forget how to go to their next step, it is right there, and they can have that visual, but also look at it to know okay, this is my next step once I come back into the barn, which I thought was really cool. And then they also help and are educated on the staff on how to assist while they're riding, and then that involves leading them or walking to the horse on the side, holding the saddle or holding the client. It kind of depends on the level of care each person needs, as well as they get educated on the prep after they ride, on what they need to do and everything that involves. Their number one priority is definitely keeping their campers safe. They do not have to have anything going in besides a doctor's note saying they are capable of riding a horse, and Patty herself is not aware of any health conditions unless the camper, family, or caregiver provide her with that information, and sometimes it's very brief, and some families really explain every detail, which is great. However, if anything were to happen, since she doesn't have that background of medical assistance and everything in that way, or understanding health conditions, their policy is number one, something happens, you call 911, which I think for how the program is set up, that is the best way they can also have that and do that. Ensuring safety of self and others is very important. As we are working with a very large animal, we have to definitely respect and understand that they might not do everything we think they will or expect them to do. They do this all summer long, and they start in May, and this is their last week. So the horses are definitely getting tired and very much over camp. They are a lot older, and they are donated in or sold to SMILE for very cheap since they are older or they're starting to be lame and everything kind of in between. So I'm not sure how familiar everyone is with horses, but when they get an attitude, they can have an attitude. So I know Patty educated us right away. She's they will bite when we put their cinch on and everything. So just being aware and holding their bridle so they don't turn and bite, because they would rather just be in the field enjoying their day, not being saddled any longer. So with that being such a long program, they're not really ridden through fall, winter, and spring as much. They'll start kind of training them a little bit, but summer is usually when they are worked with the most. So we just definitely have to look with ensuring safety when mounting and dismounting their horses. And through that, there is a ramp. I will take a photo and I will post it on one of my discussion boards throughout this week. There is a ramp, and the clients' campers can walk up the ramp, and it's really even with their hips, so they can just step right over and sit on the horse. And this definitely helps with proper body mechanics that we would have to use if we were to lift them up, or they would have to strain their bodies to reach up to the saddle to be able to lift themselves over, which sometimes might not even be an option. This also prevents the campers, like I said, having to lift other campers up, and the risk of our safety and them as well. For those that are wheelchair bound, there is a ceiling lift, kind of like one we've seen in OBP. I know Madonna has something very similar, and then this sling blanket that we did have hands on in OBP during one of our labs. And this lift is conveniently located in the barn where we do prep the horses. So we always just get the lift blanket under them, and then the lift is able to lift them up and set them on the horse. And then we leave the lift blanket on them, under them, while they do ride. So that will prevent having to lift and move. And their ride is usually about 20 minutes. So that's not long enough, they say, to like cause pressure sores or anything. And they just make it sure it's super comfortable for their clients. And I really liked seeing that with it, just because before, if you would think about not having a lift, I just imagined having to try to have 4 staff members completely lift a wheelchair bound client. And that is definitely doable. However, reaching up very high to a horse and to get them into the saddle would be very strenuous on a person's body and could definitely end with injury. All procedures for prepping the horses each day and throughout each day is kept the exact same. They go through the same motions. They massage their horses, they comb their horses, they prep them, and then through each camper, staff, and the process of prepping their horses to ride. In each day, a horse could be ridden with 5 campers. They will go through the same steps of putting on their bridle and how they put the bridle on. When they have the campers help connect the clip on the bridle, and when they help cinch, and they go through each step the exact same, as well as like scratching the nose to have them open their mouth for the bit. And I thought that was super interesting and also very intelligent that you go through. It's like the horses are well aware now, like if you just touch their nose after you've done 2 steps, they know, open my mouth, the bit's going in. And that has been very awesome to see, since I mean, I myself would not always think of that. But this ensures safety of all topics under Section 3, as we prevent spooking the horse or something going wrong that could definitely cause danger to someone in the area, client camper, or anybody that is sitting around if it were to spook a horse. I overall have really enjoyed this site so far and have enjoyed learning about the safety and how they have went about everything the last, I think it's 16 weeks now, on their entire summer program camp, and what we have to look forward to in the next couple of days through this. Thank you.